Few pre-war trucks embody the union of craftsmanship, nostalgia, and raw power quite like this 1933 Dodge pickup. A machine that transcends time, reborn from Depressionary utility into a hand-built monument of modern performance. What was once a simple workhorse designed for hauling hay, timber, or tools through dusty roads has been reborn as a rolling piece of art. A Restomod that bridges the old world of American grit with the precision of contemporary engineering. It's a truck that tells a story of patience, vision, and a builder who refused to settle for anything less than perfection. Cloaked in deep, mirror-finish black and trimmed with a bespoke tan leather interior stitched from the finest hides. This machine radiates the essence of American craftsmanship at its absolute best. The fact that it has reportedly covered only 135 miles since completion makes it less a used vehicle and more a brand-new expression of an 80-year-old dream. From a distance, the proportions remain undeniably 1930s Dodge. Upright, tough, and unmistakably mechanical. But step closer, and the subtleties begin to emerge. Every body panel has been blocked, straightened, gapped, and aligned to a level that would make even a Concours restorer pause in admiration. The paint, a bottomless shade of black so pure it seems to swallow light, gives the truck an aura of quiet menace. Beneath the lights of a show floor, it mirrors its surroundings like liquid glass, the depth of the finish hinting at the countless hours of sanding, polishing, and repolishing invested before a single coat of clear was applied. Chrome wheels glisten with a deliberate restraint, polished enough to complement the bodywork without ever crossing into excess. Every billet accent, from the mirrors to the custom Dodge Brothers medallions, feels intentional, an homage to heritage rather than a distraction from it. The 1933 Dodge pickup's body was never meant to be luxurious, but this build completely reimagines that purpose. The cabin stands as proof that old-school design and modern comfort can coexist in perfect harmony. Opening the door reveals a transformation so extensive it borders on rebirth. The scent of fresh leather, the subtle glow of satin-finished metal, and the warmth of carefully chosen materials combine to create a space that feels simultaneously classic and contemporary. It's an interior that wouldn't look out of place in a hand-built luxury coupe, yet it still acknowledges its working-class roots. Crafted from 5 hides totaling over 250 square feet, the leather upholstery envelopes every surface the eye can see or the hand can touch. The seats are sculpted and contoured, offering both visual drama and ergonomic comfort. A remarkable achievement considering the compact dimensions of the cab. The craftsmanship is staggering. Aircraft-style seatbelts anchor to a reinforced frame, while carpeting with canvas binding runs beneath, and even the insulation beneath the floorboards is carefully layered over hardwood and ABS panels. Each stitch seems to tell a story of dedication. Reportedly, over 130 hours of upholstery work went into shaping and installing every leather panel, and that devotion shows in the small things. The perfectly aligned seams, the soft yet supportive bolsters, and the way the tan hue contrasts against the inky black paint outside. The dashboard, a billet-trimmed masterpiece, merges vintage style with modern instrumentation. The gauges have been set into precision-cut bezels, their faces reminiscent of classic analog dials, but driven by contemporary electronics for accuracy and reliability. The steering wheel, machined from billet aluminum and wrapped in matching leather, feels neither old nor new. It feels timeless. Every knob, switch, and vent has been positioned not for show but for tactile satisfaction. Even the headliner, often overlooked in builds of this kind, has been custom-fitted and finished to perfection. It's an environment where craftsmanship doesn't shout. It whispers confidently. Yet, for all its elegance, this Dodge pickup's soul lies beneath the surface. Lurking behind the polished grille and below the smooth firewall is a hand-built 427 cubic inch small block Chevrolet V8. A heart that beats with both ferocity and refinement. Built around a Dart SHP block, the engine is a masterpiece of mechanical precision. Every component has been selected with intent. Forged internals, a Callie's Compstar crankshaft, Mahle pistons, Manley pushrods, and dual Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetors feeding through an RPM air gap intake. Together, they create a symphony of combustion that's as much art as science. When it breathes, it doesn't roar crudely. It sings with the smooth yet thunderous tone that only a finely tuned V8 can produce. The engine's ignition is managed by a Summit Racing digital system with an integrated rev limiter, ensuring every spark fires with accuracy and consistency. Supporting systems are equally robust. A Mellings high-volume oil pump ensures constant lubrication under stress. A Canton Racing pan keeps oil where it belongs during aggressive driving, and twin Catex-style coolers regulate temperature under even the harshest conditions. Cooling duties are handled by a high-capacity radiator, ensuring the 427 stays composed during long drives or extended idling. The exhaust system, built with custom headers and an X-pipe feeding into a performance exhaust, produces a deep, resonant note, refined enough to cruise in comfort, yet commanding enough to announce its presence when provoked. Power flows through a performance automatic transmission with a billet pan and custom crossmember, delivering torque smoothly and relentlessly to the rear wheels. Each shift feels deliberate, tuned for both responsiveness and reliability. This isn't a truck that merely looks fast. It's engineered to deliver power seamlessly, with all the mechanical confidence of a modern muscle car. Yet, the beauty of this build lies in how it hides its potency behind an appearance that remains resolutely classic. There's no oversized blower protruding through the hood, no flashy graphics screaming for attention. Instead, it's an exercise in restraint, a vehicle that knows exactly how powerful it is and doesn't need to prove it through excess. Underneath, the chassis tells a story of thoughtful engineering. The original frame has been strengthened and smoothed, its welds dressed and painted to show car standards. Suspension components have been modernized without compromising the truck's traditional stance. The geometry has been tuned to balance comfort with control, allowing the truck to handle corners with confidence rather than body roll. Rack and pinion steering replaces the vague mechanical linkages of old, providing precision and feedback that makes every mile an experience rather than a task. Rear coilovers and updated control arms ensure that the power from the 427 reaches the ground efficiently, translating every ounce of torque into motion instead of drama. The end result is a truck that feels planted, predictable, and shockingly composed, even at speeds its designers in 1933 could never have imagined. Driving this 1933 Dodge pickup isn't merely transportation, it's theater. The experience begins with the twist of the key. The engine whirs to life with an immediate, confident rumble, the twin carburetors drawing breath through their polished throats. The idle settles into a low, rhythmic lope, each pulse vibrating gently through the steering wheel and seat, a physical reminder that beneath the craftsmanship lies raw mechanical life. Ease the shifter into gear, and the truck responds with civility. Push a little harder, and it comes alive with the authority of a modern performance car. It's a sensation that connects the driver to an era when driving meant feeling, when metal, fuel, and human input merged into something more than motion. Despite its muscle, the truck's personality remains approachable. The sound insulation, careful tuning, and high-quality materials ensure the cabin remains calm, even as the exhaust sings outside. The steering is direct but never twitchy, and the brakes, upgraded to modern specifications, offer confident linear stopping power. It's this balance that defines the truck, an equilibrium between vintage charm and modern precision. It doesn't punish the driver with rawness, nor does it isolate them from the experience. Instead, it invites engagement. Every mile becomes a reminder of what can be achieved when passion meets purpose. The historical context of this Dodge makes its transformation even more remarkable. In 1933, Dodge was still finding its footing amid the Great Depression. Trucks like this were built with simplicity and durability in mind. They were tools, sturdy, unpretentious, and often short-lived. To see one not just restored but reinvented at this level is to witness what happens when history is honored through evolution rather than replication. This isn't a museum piece frozen in time. It's a living reinterpretation of American industry and design. The builders didn't simply preserve the truck's past. They elevated it, reimagining what it could have been had the artisans of the 1930s possessed today's technology. Look closer and the details reinforce that philosophy. The smoothed running boards, the flawless gaps between fenders and doors, the hidden wiring and plumbing, all speak to an obsessive attention to detail. The builder's fingerprints are everywhere, but never in a way that detracts from the truck's authenticity. Even the way light dances across the curves of the bodywork suggests intent, each contour polished until it becomes a mirror to the world around it. It's art built to move, and when it does, it commands attention without demanding it. That's the beauty of a build like this. It appeals to multiple audiences at once. To the purist, it's a respectful homage to pre-war design. To the performance enthusiast, it's a marvel of modern engineering. To the casual observer, it's simply breathtaking. And to the builder, it's a statement of possibility. Proof that time and technology need not erase the past, but can instead amplify its best qualities. The marriage of a Chevrolet heart to a Dodge body might seem unconventional, but in the world of hot rods, it's the norm. A celebration of American mechanical culture where boundaries blur and only results matter. At shows, this 1933 Dodge pickup draws a crowd not because it's loud or garish, but because it exudes quiet confidence. People gather around it to study the paint, to trace the edges of the grille, to peer through the spotless engine bay. They recognize the craftsmanship even if they can't name every component. Kids point, photographers crouch, and older enthusiasts nod with a mixture of admiration and nostalgia. It's the kind of vehicle that reminds people why they fell in love with cars in the first place, because machines like this ignite imagination. And yet, despite its show-winning potential, the truck remains fully drivable. It's not a fragile piece of art destined for climate-controlled storage. It's a machine that begs to be driven, if only to experience the surreal blend of vintage style and modern response. It accelerates with effortless authority, cruises smoothly at highway speeds, and stops with modern composure. The 427 engine delivers instant torque, the transmission shifts with precision, and the chassis feels balanced and sure-footed. It's the perfect embodiment of what the term Restomod truly means, restoring the soul of the past while modernizing everything else for today's roads. One could spend hours simply appreciating the mechanical honesty of it all. The visible welds underneath, the routing of the fuel lines, the polished brackets holding the cooling system in place. There's no deception here, no filler or flash hiding shortcuts. Every component has a reason to exist. Every surface has been touched by human hands. That's what separates a build of this caliber from the average custom. The presence of intention in every bolt, bracket, and seam. More than $50,000 reportedly went into engine, upholstery, and fabrication costs alone, but even that figure seems modest when one considers the overall result. This isn't a truck built to a budget, it's a truck built to a vision. The money was never the focus. It was merely the tool that enabled the dream. For those who understand the world of custom vehicles, that distinction matters. You don't measure craftsmanship by receipts. You measure it by results. And this Dodge delivers those results in abundance. It's easy to imagine this truck as the centerpiece of a collection, a vehicle that turns even the most jaded collector's head. But perhaps its greatest strength is its versatility. It's as comfortable idling through a car show as it is devouring open roads, as suited to concours competition as it is to quiet Sunday drives. It can be admired, driven, displayed, or simply kept as an heirloom, a tangible link between generations of American ingenuity. When you stand beside it, what you feel is not just admiration for the builder's skill, but respect for the lineage it represents. The Dodge brothers built their reputation on durability, on machines that served with dignity. This 1933 Dodge pickup honors that spirit, but pushes it forward into a new century. It's a reminder that the past isn't something to be escaped or replaced. It's something to be reimagined. Every curve, every component, every stitch exists to bridge the divide between eras, proving that true craftsmanship never becomes obsolete. In a world obsessed with convenience and automation, this truck stands defiantly analog. It's a machine that rewards those who pay attention, that asks for engagement rather than passive participation. The sound of the V8, the feel of the leather, the way the light catches the chrome. These are sensations that can't be replicated by screens or simulators. They're real, tactile, and enduring. And that, ultimately, is what makes this 1933 Dodge pickup more than just a vehicle. It's a love letter to engineering, to artistry, and to the timeless allure of the automobile. Because some machines are built to be driven, and others are built to be remembered. This Dodge is both.